Hi everybody, doing news for channel with Gino. Toddy's here, as you guys can see. She's very excited to be with us today. Gonna be an interesting one because it's my second ever AEW, second in a row, sorry, AEW show. Yeah, sure, I guess you could say it's my review of Dynasty, which happened just 24 hours ago-ish. I was actually able to attend it live in Vancouver. Crowd was insane. It's the loudest I've heard. For those of you that don't live in Vancouver, Rogers Arena, which is where the Vancouver Canucks play, and for those of you that live in Vancouver, the loudest I've heard Rogers Arena all year long. The crowd was on fire all night long, but that's neither here nor there because I don't think that's what you guys want to hear about. Um, let's talk about the show itself. Um, I can see why there's a difference between AEW and WWE fans. It was absolutely insane. One of the best shows I've seen live in a long time. A little bit of too many matches, I guess you could say, but at the same point, there wasn't enough because we were there for almost 5 hours, and it did not feel like 5 hours, if that makes sense to anybody here. I won't be covering the undercard because, well, you know what? Actually, I kind of will. One set up a match. Unfortunately, we did miss one match. That was Marina Shafir versus Alex Windsor, and Alex Windsor won that match. So, like I said, Marina Shafir was never going to win. I had a feeling she should be the jobber, um, because she's not a very good wrestler. We'll just leave it at that. We had the return of somebody who nobody was talking about because we were randomly talking about people who are in AEW that weren't there anymore. I thought it'd be something big and important. It's only Camille. She beats the local jobber in a minute and a half. Sets up storyline between her and Willow Nightingale. I thought it was going to be in the pay-per-view, but it just led to a story that's going to be happening this week on Dynamite. Camille's, to me, nothing special. He never has been, but a lot of people love Camille, the Brick House. Um, this one's kind of shocking. I thought for sure it'd be on the main card, but it was Jack Perry versus Mark Davis. Mark Davis is a very, very big man. He has a very, very good pile driver set up. He did a couple of really cool spots in that match. Jack Perry is insanely over. The whole crowd just went berserk singing his song with them, singing his anthem song, waiting along with him, just going insane for the man. He has improved so much in the last couple of years. He definitely has. He is the national champion for AEW. He beat Ricochet. We'll talk about Ricochet in a minute. Very good match. Probably the match of the prelims, in my opinion. There's a couple of teases where Mark Davis looked like he was going to win. He was very, very close. Not a good night for the Doghouse family in general, but in the end, Ricochet did retain, and kind of not shocking. It was just the undercard, like I said. I think they want to go forward for a little bit more with Ricochet. Not Ricochet, Jack Perry as champion. Very good match. I'm gonna have to give that one a silver. It was entertaining, got you going. The crowd was really into it. Following that, we had a match with the Dominion, which is pretty much, in my opinion, one of the stupidest names I've ever heard for a tag team. Megan Bayne and Lena Cross versus Maya World and Hyan. This is two girls that a lot of people had no idea who the hell they were unless you pay attention to all AEW programming. I believe they work mostly Collision and Ring of Honor. If I'm not mistaken, Hyan used to work Booker T's programming back in the day. She's now part of AEW. She's a decent talent. Maya World's gonna be something special soon. I'm not a big believer in either the Divine Dominion, sorry. They're both good in their own way. Megan Bayne is underrated for how good she is for how big she is. Lena Cross kind of sold me a little bit. This was a very hard-hitting match. You could hear a lot of things they were laying in. In the end, there was never any jeopardy of the girls losing those titles. So, just the fact that it was kind of a predictable match. I'm gonna give it a bronze. They worked the rest of it off. It just was nothing for me personally. Sorry, I was just checking a wrestling buddy there. Um, the first match of the night, the Young Bucks versus Kaneshke. I can't speak. Can't speak. Kaneshka Takeshka and Kazuta Okada. Kazuchika Okada. Sorry, I couldn't speak for a second there. Very, very, very good opener. This thing had everyone hooked from the very minute it came out. There's one fun funny spot where he had the Okada Jackson. He took Matt Jackson stuff that was on the ring apron and wore it himself and stood in the corner looking for Nick Jackson tag and just flipped him off. Good. I like the little seeds that were planted that Okada and Takeshita were going to turn on each other halfway through a match. Eventually, near the end, they both accidentally hit each other with each other's finishers, and looked like one point the Jacksons were going to hit the Melted Driver, and Takeshita teased that he was going to stop it and not let anything happen. He let go of Nick Jackson's foot. Nick Jackson hit the pile driver. The Young Bucks beat the team from Don Callis' family. And you can see Takeshita was just flipping everybody off as he walked away. And Don Callis seemed disturbed and upset that this happened. It's a good tease because this feud's been going on forever and they have not yet pulled the trigger. They finally should pull the trigger. Apparently, it's a title match coming up, and it's going to be where the Don Callis family turns on Takeshita and kicks the ever living shit out of him and kicks him out of the family, leading to him eventually taking the belt from the Rainmaker. This match, like I said, absolutely brilliant match. I'm not doing it very much justice by kind of speeding through it. There's a lot of really cool spots. There's a point where the Jackson were both dominating throughout the match, and they got a couple cool hot tags. I like the little, like I said, the subtle teases they had that eventually happened with them doing a complete disintegration of the two Japanese superstars. Like I said, the crowd was hooked from start to finish. About 5 minutes in, you got a "This is awesome" chant, which was coming throughout the night. Very, very good opening match. Got the crowd hooked for what was going to be an enjoyable night. Gold plus. Even Tardy Reed's down here licking the toy I gave her. Following that, we actually had Ricochet and Bishop Khan and Toa Leone, the Diva, whatever the fuck they call themselves, I can't remember. Versus it was Ricochet versus Chris Jericho. I'm somebody's follically challenged. So the one thing that pissed me off was the crowd just kept chanting bald, bald, bald all night long of Ricochet. Jericho got a huge ovation in the crowd just saying Judas for him. Very good match. Jericho has still got it at 56 plus years old. There's a lot of crazy spots in this match where Jericho actually climbs the entire pole and does a dive onto all um three members of Ricochet's crew. I can't remember what they're called. They kept doing this hand sign. I don't know why. Demand. That's what they're called. The Demand. Um, Ricochet dominated parts of this match. Jericho dominated other parts of this match. There's a really cool spot where Ricochet went for like a 450 splash and Jericho caught him midway with a code breaker. Sorry guys, this is my wrestling group again. No, yeah, code breaker. For a nice 1-2 tease. We even had the walls of Jericho. There's a few teases of Jericho actually hitting the lion salt. Now Jericho actually never did it himself. Eventually, the numbers game caught up to Jericho, which is ironic because Jericho used to always have the numbers game. The referee was distracted as Jericho had the walls of Jericho on Ricochet, and Bishop Khan and Toy Leone got involved. Ricochet hit the spirit gun. And when he's gonna go for the pin, Toy Leone told him to go for the lion salt. He hits the lion salt, and he pins Chris Jericho clean right in the middle of the ring. I guess the AEW is doing the thing right now where their old wrestlers said they're willing to put over the young wrestlers because they know they don't have much time left. Ricochet's not that young, but he's going to be around for longer than Jericho. Like I said, very good match. At the time, I didn't think it was the right call. I thought back on it later in the night. It was a brilliant call. The match itself was there. It was entertaining. Jericho still got it. It was a good follow up to to the Young Bucks and Don Callis family tag team match. It's going to get a silver for me just because I think it was too much outside shit going on. I'm not the biggest fan of all that. Um, Great match, good effort by both guys. Following that, we had Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo. Very good match. One of the first matches on Andrade El Idolo. That Darby Allin went to get the title shot. Very good match. One of the first times where Darby Allin didn't actually get tossed around the entire place. It was actually a very good wrestling match in and of itself. Andrade did the spot with the girl in the crowd where he gets the number and a selfie and all that. Darby Allin hit a cool couple coffin drops. Andrade hit a really cool spinning elbow out of the corner when Darby went for some sort of dive. There was a nasty like suplex brainbuster corner spot on Darby. There's a crazy back suplex. Sorry, I'm trying to think of other things that happened in that match. They stood out for me. There's a crazy backdrop driver on the ring apron from Andrade to Darby. Andrade the crazy Hurricane Rana from the ring apron. Very good match. Darby had a couple cool coffin drops and a nice little top rope Hurricane Rana. And his very sliced bread out of the corner on a reversal of Andrade coming in for the double knees. In the end, Darby hit a coffin drop, which this one kind of shocked me because I think I would have went with Andrade winning the match, but Darby actually gets the pin clean after one coffin drop, and not see that coming. Andrade got it, or sorry, no, the mousetrap. He got him with the mousetrap. which is a really cool pitting combination. Andrade got up afterwards and shook his hand, so I think we're going to see Andrade turning heel face here soon and going against the Don Callis family because he never wanted to wrestle Darby Allin. If you guys followed the storyline ever long, very good match. The crowd was completely into this match. These are two very good wrestlers. I'm a huge Andrade fan, have been for a long time. Like I said, WWE fucked up letting him go and not giving him a chance to do anything. A very good match. Darby Allin's very over. Andrade's getting even more over. This is going to get a gold plus as well for me. Following that, we had FTR versus a Cope and Cage. Um, I think Adam Cope might have actually got hurt in this match because at the point where he gets hit with the belt and you can see his eyes are just completely glassed over and he's bleeding and I think he forgets what he's supposed to do for parts of this match. Um, there's good parts of this match where FTR were doing everything they could to possibly cheat and take out both guys. They crushed Christian's arm early in the week and they were targeting that throughout the match. There's points where they're double teaming Edge. Christian got it. He's our asshole. Chant halfway through the crowd because he's an asshole. But he's our asshole because he's Canadian and with us in Vancouver, Canada. Christian got a nice little hot tag for his running wild moment. Edge got one as well. There's a few teases that they were going to win. Sorry, Cope and Cage. And eventually they took out Stokely Hathaway. Edge once again. At one point, Christian got tucked over the barricade and was no longer in the match. Cope, Adam Cope, and taking me a while to get used to that. Had a cool little like 2-on-1 spot where he's doing a hot comeback. He had a sick little double spear on both guys. There's a tease that he was going to get the pin and got a 1-2, got kicked out. Eventually, he got turned into the Shatter Machine. And like I said, didn't seem right after the title shot. And 1, 2, 3 FTR wins. I think it's going to be somebody special who's going to take the titles from FTR, but maybe somebody to Hurt Business. I don't know. There's not a lot, like me and JP were discussing, there's not a lot of teams, let alone babyface or heel teams in AEW. So I think it's going to be like a super team that's take FTR's belts off of them. I don't know who's going to be. But been on a run for a while. They are very, very good wrestlers, man. This is going to get a gold plus plus for me. It was a very, very good match. Following that, we had Kevin Knight winning the 10-man Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal match. It was, if I remember correctly, we had Kevin Knight, we had Mike Bailey, we had Roosh, we had every member of the Death Riders outside of Cesaro. We had El Clone. El Clone had a few sick spots in that match. Um, Very interesting match. There's a few teasers. Oh, we had Mike Bailey, who I forgot to mention. So Jet Speed was in there. There's a few teasers where Mike Bailey was going to win this match, and you could tell that it was close. And it was the final three guys in the match were Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia had Mike Bailey in the Dragon Tamer, and out of nowhere, Kevin Knight comes across with the UFO splash, and 1, 2, 3. He was a little bit of a tease that they were going to break up, and I think that the Hurt Business has been teasing a new member. I think Kevin Knight might be that new member, but both Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey have worked very hard this entire year and both deserve everything they're going to get and their pushes. I want to see how long Kevin Knight gets this title run for. It could be a short one, it could be a long one, we don't know. But they've both earned it. Eventually, Mike Bailey will get a singles title. Ooh, excuse me, guys, but a very, very fantastic match that entertained the crowd from start to finish. The crowd counted down to like a reverse Royal Rumble for those you haven't seen. And the only way to win this match is somebody's to win by pinfall or count up. People just coming in like every couple of minutes. At the 10-second mark, the crowd did that 10, 9, 8, 7 countdown. Every single person almost got a pop. Like I said, El Clone had a cool few spots in this match. Everyone had their moments. Very good match. Roosh is mega talented. AW doesn't know what they have with him. They don't know what they're doing with him. He's randomly appearing every now and then. Ciampa is on the run of a lifetime. WWE completely fucked that up. It was following a good tag team match. I'm gonna give this one a gold plus with gold as well. It was a very entertaining match. Like I said, in the right outcome. I figured that somebody like Mark Briscoe would come out. He didn't come out. We didn't get a Cesaro, which kind of upset me. But other than that, it was a good match. Very, very good match. Right when see what kind of run he goes on. Following that, we probably had the hardest hitting match of the entire night, and this one was kind of no shocker to me. Tekla, the Toxic Spider, and Jamie Hayter. Very good match. It seemed like it took a little while to get going and clicking, but once it got clicking, you could tell they were laying the shit in, and it was hard. There's one or two misses that happened in this match, but Tekla, I'll say this as well. Tekla is tiny to watch her in person. TV, like TV, kind of makes her look a little bit bigger than she is, but she is absolutely tiny. Jamie Hayter's so very good, and so is Tekla. I don't think it's ever the only problem with this. There was never any jeopardy in Tekla losing her belts. I don't think she's ever going to lose to Jamie Hayter. Although there was a little bit of a tease with the way the match ended, as Tekla got the reverse crawl and held onto the rope for the 1, 2, 3. Sky Blue and Julie Hart came out to celebrate with her, and Alex Windsor came down to tell the referee that Tekla held the rope. The referee pretended like he didn't see it. I don't know if this is going to lead into another match between these two or some sort of a trios tag team match again or something, who knows what. But these two girls are absolutely laying into each other, and it was a fantastic match. Great showing for both. Both are very, very talented women. I'm gonna give this a gold plus. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Tekla is massive over. If you guys have not haven't experienced it, go check it out. She is very, very entertaining. Following that, got I think the surprise of the night. John Moxley versus Will Ospreay. Like I was discussing with my buddy JP, I didn't know how they were going to do this match. I don't know because neither man could lose, in my opinion. I don't know if they were going to do a count out or if they were going to do disqualification or what they were going to do. Um, it was a good story, I'll tell you that much, because most of the match, at the very beginning of the match, Will Ospreay hit him with a hit him with the hidden blade. I looked at my buddy, I'm like, did he just use the hidden blade? And I'm like, either yep. Then we look again, it's like hidden blade number 2. Moxley sold the fuck out of the hidden blades. Will Ospreay looked around like he was a psycho after he hit him with the first one. He kept teasing the Tiger Driver a couple of different times, but he couldn't pull it off because Moxley had been targeting his neck all night. So he was selling his arm was hurt, and he didn't have the power in the one arm to lift him. A lot of really cool spots. Moxley actually got busted open at one point with a neck breaker from the ring apron to the ground. Will Ospreay kept teasing he was going to go for his neck for a while, saying he was going to paralyze him or not break his neck to make his kid feel what he felt. Well, Ospreay was playing too good of a goody guy, but Ospreay is the most over wrestler I've seen in that company in a long time. And for those of you that have not yet seen Will Ospreay wrestle in person, do yourself a favor and go check this out. Will Ospreay is the most smooth, technical wrestler I think I've ever seen in life in person. The man is so good the way he transitions from things and gets into things and out of things. Um, Like I look at my buddy JP, I'm like, how is he doing what he's doing? He's just like, I don't know. I don't know how he did that. There's one spot where they did where Moxley was about to hit the ropes and do his King Kong Lariat, and Will Ospreay somehow turned that into a Spanish fly and landed right into that pin from the Spanish fly. And I don't know how it happened, but he did it. In the end, Moxley hit Ospreay with probably the sickest, most disgusting combination to finish a match I've seen in a long time. First off, pile driver on with his hurt neck that had been surgically repaired onto steel stairs on the outside. They teased the count out. Ospreay got in at 9.99999. Hit with a stomp. Two paradigm shifts. That teased a 1, 2, 2.9999999999999. Then Moxley picked him up and hit the most disgusting death rider I've ever seen in my life, and that was the end of it. Like I said, this one shocked me. I figured they would have let Ospreay win, but I forgot Ospreay is getting married so very, very soon, so they probably figured they can't put the belt on him, have him vanish. But the fact that the story told the fact that Moxley going after Ospreay's neck repeatedly was brilliant. Absolutely good match. This is getting a gold triple plus for me. I think it was the match of the night, and I knew it was going to be coming in. Following that, we had um the unfortunate down part of the night. Well, first off, we had a pop of the night. Kyle O'Reilly returned, folks. He's part of the conglomeration again. They did a little Friends thing to open the show. It's like the conglomeration is filmed to you live on set. They had a couch there and a door and all this stuff. And Roderick Strong came out through the door. He woke up Orange Cassidy, who was sleeping on the couch. He's like, get up, he's going to be here. And all of a sudden, Kyle O'Reilly comes and knocks on the door. And everyone in the crowd knew who it was because you could see him behind the door. And they look, they say, come in. Kyle O'Reilly comes up, top of the night from the crowd. Canadian boy from Delta, the only Canadian on the night that won, kind of teasing what happens here. There versus the Dogs. Dave Finley went and bashed down the door. Clark Connors just jumped on the couch and started having sex with it, and then Gabe Kidd, who unfortunately was not involved in this match very long, peed all over the couch. I don't know if Gabe Kidd is actually insane or if he just plays an insane gimmick. Either way, it's very good. Good match in general. There's parts of the match where Orange Cassidy got absolutely decimated. Kyle O'Reilly sold a massive spear to the outside for a good 10 minutes or so, because there's a spot where all three of the guys from the conglomeration hit dives, and somewhere in those dives, Gabe Kidd unfortunately separated his shoulder, and I look at my buddy JP once again. I'm like, Gabe Kidd's out. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, go. My Gabe Kidd's not here, man. Because I could see him holding his arm and clutching close to his body, was trying to do things, and you could see in his eyes he's in pain. And he went down on the ground. You could see the doctor talking to him. I'm like, look, and I just point to the ground. Like, Gabe Kidd is out. And they eventually tried to sneak him out of the crowd without anyone seeing, but you knew he was gone. So O'Reilly had to sell the spear for a little bit longer, so it didn't look like the faces had an advantage. They eventually did, and you could tell they were calling on the fly for doing certain things. Orange Cassidy took a beating for about 5-10 minutes. I talked to Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong took another beating for a bit. And you can see they're talking and working things out while the match was going on in the ring. I'd say these guys did well to improvise on the fly, but the finish came kind of quick. O'Reilly got in, hit some sort of drop kick, and then hit a heel hook and tapped out Connors. The finish came out of nowhere. Good finish, got a huge pop, and for the second time in 2 nights, we now have new trios champions. And for the third time in a month, we have new trios champions. This time it's the conglomeration. So it's also a happiness for Kyle O'Reilly because he had lost his dad more recently than this. That's why he's off TV for a while. And his somebody who's lost their father. I feel your pain, Kyle. So congratulations to you. Entertaining match, absolutely brilliant. Well done on everybody's involvement. And sorry, speedy recovery to Gabe Kidd. Hopefully get that rematch in the future. But these guys did well and adjusted well to what happened in that match. Um, I don't know if they was going to be the original finish, if they were always going to win the belts, but the fact that they called them fly and they knew they had to drop the belts was brilliant on everybody's part. Unfortunate happenings. The dogs will be back. They're entertaining. I like all three of them as individuals and as a tag team. They're too fresh and they probably shouldn't have lost that early, and they did. And we'll see what happens once Gabe Kidd comes back. And following that, we had the Devil versus the God, Kenny Omega versus MJF. This is a great match. You guys had some great back and forth moments. There's parts where Kenny dominated, there's points where Max was dominating, and went after Kenny's stomach a few times because everyone knows Kenny has stomach surgery. There's a few teases in there. Kenny hit a disgusting one-winged angel from the top rope avalanche style. And then he sold that he couldn't get there because his stomach had been worked over for too long, and at the last second he tried to get to him, and Max rolled out, and Kenny got him by the fingertips. MJF kept teasing the heat seeker. There's a few table spots. There's a referee bump. Unfortunately, there was about 97,995 V triggers, but Kenny does it so smooth. MJF did a few cheap shots, like a low blow, and a few different things like that. He teased us all to the earth a few times as well, which is his armbar. Also, MJF is both these guys are massively over. The crowd went nuts for both. There's a there's a let's go cleaner, let's go devil chant dividing the crowd halfway through. Great, great storytelling. A lot of very close nose near falls. As a matter of fact, Kenny hit the one-winged angel, had Max for about a 20 count before another referee came out. And Max took about a good 10 minutes to dig through the referee's pocket to get a ring. I think it was a little overborn. I think Max forgot where the ring was. He eventually hit Kenny in the stomach, in the kidneys with the diamond ring. Hit a pile driver, dragged Kenny back into the ring, hit the heat seeker, and Max Joe Jacob Freeman had defeated the god of professional wrestling. I think it's the right call because Kenny himself said he doesn't have much time left in this business, and there's no point having him have another title run. Plus, I think you're gonna have the belt on Darby Allin pretty soon here going forward. Um, this is gonna get a gold triple plus for me. I think it was absolutely brilliant second match of the night next to Moxley and Osprey. Absolutely fantastic show from start to finish. Like I said, it did not feel like it was a 5 hour show. The only kind of weird spot I thought was in the entire thing is they had a weird backstage segment where they showed how Willow got hurt earlier in the night, but instead of showing it on the pre-show to why Willow came out with a tagged shoulder, they showed it halfway through at the pay-per-view, which I don't know if they fucked it up and it was a production issue, but it just made no sense to the flow of the show. And also, nobody in the crowd could hear the audio in the back, so nobody knew what the hell was going on outside of that Camille had attacked Willow, and we thought that was new, but it wasn't. Um, The only other issue I have with the entire show is I agree with my buddy. They had Maya World and Hyan come out and be the tag team to challenge the tag team titles. Nobody knew who either of those girls were, so nobody could cheer for them. But if they brought up the inspiration o- or the Iconics as they were known in WWE, maybe the crowd would have been more into that match and given more respect to everybody in that match. But nobody felt the match. Nobody was really doing anything except for sitting on their hands, in my opinion. It just was there to be there. Those are the only two problems I have with that pay-per-view. And also, maybe we should keep Miranda Sheriff out of matches unless they're on television. Shouldn't be on pay-per-views. My only three faults with the entire show. Other than that, absolutely brilliant show. Um, I'll be doing a little bit more wrestling reviews and talking to you guys later on in the week. But I just had to get on here and just. This has probably been one of the best shows I can tell you I've been to in a long time, and maybe 2 years. The last time was the Survivor Series in Vancouver. Completely different shows, completely different concepts of wrestling. Both are absolutely brilliant. So I don't get the tribalism myself. I think both are brilliant at what they do and the crowds they hit and the niches they hit. And the crowd and the one thing I see about AEW is they make their tickets affordable. I'll give them that. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. But if you have time and you can find a way to review the show, I mean review the AEW show if you haven't watched it yourself. Give yourself a good 5 hour chunk of time and maybe space it out between time if you want, but it is a fucking fantastic show. On that night, guys, I'll give the show in general gold triple plus to the moon and back. If you want to give that kind of a rating, the gold triple plus, I'll give you that. It was absolutely fantastic. I still can't stop thinking about some of the matches I saw last night. I got to see a few wrestlers I've never seen before, and as a wrestling fan, I am absolutely blown away by what these people can do. It's like I said, it's completely different wrestling than WWE, but both are brilliant shows in and of their own ways, and different crowds. But I've never heard that arena that loud in a long time. I'll leave it on that note, and I'll talk to you guys in a few days. Bye.